Greetings, this is the Baron, and this is round 1 of the Beasts of the Bay Type 1.5 Old School Tournament. So, here are the rules. No cards are restricted, Fallen Empires is allowed, mana burn happens, and everything on this list is banned. So, right off the bat, we've got the Power 9, out of here. Library of Alexandria, gone. No Soul Ring, no Chaos Orb. That covers all the big original stuff. Now in the colors, we've got no balance or land tax in white. Blue is missing Brain Geyser, Control Magic, and Mana Drain, as well as Serendib Efreet, not allowed. Black is missing Demonic Tutor, Hymn to Torok, Mind Twist, and the Abyss. Green got Cut Birds and Channel, and red is missing Blood Moon, Lightning Bolt, and Wheel of Fortune. On the artifacts, there's no Black Vice, City in the Bottle, Ivory Tower, Time Vault. And out of the lands that are banned, it's City of Brass, Maze of Ith, Mishra's Factory, Mishra's Workshop, and Strip Mine. So, that's a lot to take in. And when I found out about this tournament, it actually started the next day. So, I had to, put something together real fast. So I didn't have time to really, think about it and make a plan. I just took one of my existing decks and tweaked it to fit this format. So, had I given it any thought, for me, I would say 100% hands down, strongest card in this format would be Armageddon. Tell me what you think in the comments below, if you disagree, if you agree with that. But if I had the time to make a deck, I guarantee you, I'd make it a whole Geddon deck thing. Fast, Savannah Lions and whatever else, and just beat you down with Pump Knights and drop those Geddon as fast as possible. I'd probably still run Regrowths, actually. As you see, Regrowth is not on this list, so you can run a 4 of, which is what I did. So, the deck I'm using is not new to this channel, just this version of it. This is my 1.5 version of Titania's Toys. So, here's the whole thing laid out for you. Couple of plains, couple of forests. I've got 1 Caracas, 4 Savannas, a full play set of the Felwar Stone, because I need those not only to ram, because almost everything in this deck is 4 to cast, but also because they become 2/2s when I drop my Titania songs. Now, in white, I'm running the full plus removal package. That's 4 swords, 4 disenchants, 4 Wrath of Gods, as well as a Dust to Dust and a Divine Offering. Now, because Regrowth is not restricted, I'm running 3 of those. And that's my whole control part of this deck, for the most part, spell-wise. The next part are my artifacts, my control that become the beaters. I've got 4 Disrupting Scepters to knock those cards out of your hand. I've said that a bunch of times about this deck. It's a big part of the plan, is making sure you have nothing in your hand before I drop my song and swing it for the big kill. I've got 3 books, 3 Icy Manipulators. I went down to 1 Rod of Ruin for this format, and I kept in the 1 Divinal's Disc, as well as the 1 Mirror Universe. Now, I've since this tournament actually made some changes to this deck. Not sure if they're the right direction or not, but I'm working on playtesting it. For now, this is what I thought a good plan would be. And my sideboard here, I've got my rest of my Rod of Ruins, I've got anti-black cards like Karma, all those COPs up top, a little bit of artifact hate, and of course, my Tsunami, because I love hating on blue. And my next evolution of this deck is actually going to mainboard the Karmas and probably play Cyclopean Tombs, interesting enough. And I'll go over that deck as soon as I have it created. For now, let's check out the deck of my opponent, Sully. So Sully's playing a counter burn deck. He's got a lot of creature removal. He's got the moats, which will actually hurt me. I'll need to keep a disenchant ready for those. Not that I knew this deck before we played the game, but now looking at it now, those moats are trouble. And he's got plenty of removal and counter power up the river. Everything. Spell Blast, Power Sink, counter spells. He's running a full play set of Regrowths. He sees the power. And he's also running a full set of Tomes, Mirror Universe, and a Disrupting Scepter. And Falling Stars there. Check out that original art. The hand-drawn on the back of, I think it's one of those, whatever you call those cards that the artist hands out. Artist-proof cards. Wow, that's really beautiful. As well as some other good altars and a lot of signatures on these dual lands, and even the deserts down there. And if you haven't figured it out by now, this deck's whole plan is to win with that one Fireball. It's Fireball, regrow, Fireball, and if you have to, regrow and Fireball, while keeping complete control of everything else at all times. So, what a match is it going to be. All my creature spells are going to be dead against him. Let's see how it goes. Round number 1. So, we're going to start off by rolling off. I think I took odds, and that's evens. So, Sully will be on the play here. And, again, I've got no idea what I'm going up against. And I've got no idea how my decks perform. I had no time to really play test this thing. It was just, okay, let's get going. Play the games. So, this is basically this deck's maiden voyage in this form. And I love how this deck has evolved and continues to evolve. And I hope you guys have been enjoying that as well along the road. And Sully actually took a mulligan down here. It's going down to 6 cards. So, hopefully that one card matters and I can pull this through. Oh, man. And this 1.5 format, I really love it. You know, it's great for especially any new players, anyone can't afford the big money cards, but you're interested in the format. 1.5, you have nothing to worry about. No big blue, none of that stuff. There's still expensive cards out there, but you absolutely don't need them. As much as you didn't need them before, you especially don't need them now. I tried dropping a Felwar Stone, and he immediately disenchants it. So that's got me worried that he's running Armageddon. And he's probably worried that I'm running Armageddon too. He sees the white, he sees I'm playing Felwar Stone, and everyone in this format is worried about that Geddon. You know, there's no Blood Moon to stop you anymore. It's just the Geddon and other, land destruction cards, I suppose. Checking out the lands he's played so far, I know he's in at least 3 colors. So, I mean, especially in this format, you've got a lot of options. So I have no idea what to expect yet. Part of me out of my brain, it's banned. You still have to worry about these Searing for free. I tried regrowing my my rock there, and he counterspelled me, power synced it, so I had to pay the extra mana into it. Drops a Desert, which a great card in this format also, especially a lot of the aggro decks, and like I said, decks like that run the Geddon, they leave the smoke out fast. The Desert takes care of those little guys, and it's pretty important. I pay 4 mana here. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, drop myself an Icy. Does it stick? Oh, he's thinking about it. No, it's gonna stick, I guess. And he goes to his turn. And another Desert. And he has no idea what to expect also from me. So he doesn't know those deserts are kind of dead cards. Try playing myself a Disc. And okay, it's countered. And now looking back at his deck list, I wonder why he was worried about the Disc. Maybe it was just because it can take the moats out. And for me to think about playing the Disc, there's got to be a reason, I guess. In the long run, it was a smart play anyway. If you knew what deck I was playing, especially because you just stop a 4/4 from hitting the board, So on his upkeep, I'm tapping that plateau because it's his only source of red. Try to drop myself another Mana Rock, and it sticks. So now I'm using that to fuel my Icy Manipulator. And wow, look at those dual lands. Just mana options. Whatever you need, you got it. Me, simple. White-green, And this deck, I keep thinking about it. It might even be better just blue-white, I know you need the green for the song, but especially with that next, evolution I'm trying to make here, I don't really need the green so much. So maybe we'll see a shift in color in this deck soon too. And I'm not sure what we're discussing here. Oh, I'm discarding. Yikes. Ooh. Discard the Plow because I'm looking at all that mana. I'm not seeing any creatures, so I'm worried maybe, there are none coming, or maybe it's like the one Shivan or one Mahamoti in the whole deck. I've probably got another one on my sleeve. So it's just kind of this draw pass thing going on here. Until now, he drops a Mirror Universe on me. And I don't like that. It means you're up to something. So I go to disenchant it. He counterspells. I disenchant again. And I take that Mirror Universe off the table. Again, I don't know he's running a full play set of regrowths plus a recall, so I just waste a lot of firepower on that card. But I still have 6 cards in hand versus 3, so I'm doing okay. Plus, I am also running 3 regrowths, so I can get back what I need. Draw myself the song here. You know, didn't really know if it was right play or not, but I did. I come in for 6, drop to 14. So now, you know, every artifact I drop is just a beater. So I don't know what's in my hand. It's obviously not another artifact, or else I'd be dropping them. There's no reason to hold back, you know, 4 4s right now. Now's the time to be dropping them down. But, so I don't know what these now 5 4 cards are. Okay, there's a regrowth. Trying to get myself my disc because I want another 4 4 on the board. And looks like he's not going to allow this regrowth to go through. What's he doing? Counting his mana here. It's probably going to be, what is it, power sink? Yeah, okay. So that tasks me out. I've got no regrowth, but that's fine. And did I just... Yeah, okay, I did hit him with the Icy, so that's how he buys at 10 now from 14. And that's, I'm just desperate. Oh, he fireballs my Icy Manipulator here for 4. So I've got plenty of artifacts in here. I should be able to keep dropping 4 drops, but I don't draw it apparently, and I've got none in my hand because why wouldn't I hit the table with them? So just another draw pass here. A lot of the times that's just how old school goes, you know. You're just drawing and passing, just trying to see who can do what next first. And I love it, you know. It really does make a great game. You're both on equal footing here. It's no one's doing any kind of crazy combos, even though I think they still do exist, even in this format. Yeah, like Power Monolith is still a thing you can do, you know. But even them, you need to draw the cards. So he's regrowing his Fireball here, and he's got a lot of mana on the board. Drop myself a Scepter, so that's great. He's got 5 cards in hand. Hopefully I can pluck him out, because again, that's something I want to do. Oh no, I got the Song on the table. That is just a 3/3 creature, and oh, Falling Star. If he lands this, he can take out both my artifacts. Oh, and he does. They're both gone. So now I've got nothing on the board but his Song, who's actually like hurting me more now than it's helping me, kind of. You know, at this point I kind of want to be using my artifacts, but, or you know, even if I can get a couple 4/4s, just start beating them down with them. But I've got nothing, and he's got answers, plenty of answers. Tappy, tappy, tappy here. Fireball for 10. Yikes. Okay. Well, as I said earlier in his plan, that's it. It's Fireball, Regrow, Fireball, and he is on course to making that plan a reality. So let's see if I can get some creatures out before he could find a regrowth. And he had one in his hand. There's a recall, pitching a plow, getting his Fireball back. Am I done this turn? Counting up, no. He hit me for 9. Not enough to seal the deal, so I get to get another turn here. I play myself Felwar Stone, and that's all I got. I pass turn. Hopefully I have some kind of trick up my sleeve. Comes in Fireball for 10. I plow my 2/2 Felwar Stone. He counters the plow. Oh, man. That is rough. I'm telling him, tap your mana. Show me that Fireball. Come on, one step at a time here, buddy. Don't get ahead of yourself. And now that all the mana's paid, I plow my stone again. So I do gain the 2 life. Puts me to 12. Then eat the Fireball for 10. Drops me to 2. Yikes. Okay, if making fun of Mirror Universe or something. But, oh, Chain Lightning. That's it, he got me. Wow. Well, what a game number 1. You know, it's kind of draw, go, right until the end there, when it was just an all-out war. Yikes. Well, let's sideboard up and get right into game number 2. Alright, here we go for round number 2. I sideboarded out, I think, my plows and wraths, or maybe just the wraths, and threw in at least a couple what do you call those things? Rod of Ruins. Let's see if it makes a difference. Early turn, land, whatever. I got a Felwar Stone out now. That's nice. A little bit of mana advantage, hopefully. And a little more back and forth here. Tapping 3, 4. Sorry, what am I going to play? Show it to us. Ooh, big book. Let me have it. And is this a no? That's a no. Power Sink for 1. Okay. So no book for me. That's fine. Let's try again next turn, maybe. You know. Draw myself Forest, and here we go. 3 mana, Disrupting Scepter. What do you say? Says okay. All right, I get to keep it. That's great. Oh, Disenchant. Okay, no Scepter for me. That would have really got me ahead. I'm already down to 3 cards in hand. He's at 6. Here's a Rod of Ruin. That's not really a threat to him, so he's letting that slide. Hopefully it does some work for me. Not this turn, only 2 mana open. And he's regrowthing his Disenchant. And back to me. I know everyone's watching this like, why you even playing with those Rod of Ruins, bro? Well, you know, it sounds silly, but they do damage. You know, it 1, 2 damage a turn. It's better than no clock at all. I know you tell me I'm nuts, but again, remember, it's not the main plan. It's just to whittle you down before I drop my song, and then I have 4/4 beaters. So they do help. Is there a better card I could play? Probably. I don't know. Let me know if you have any suggestions in the comments section. And a little bit of Disenchant action here. No book for him. No Rod of Ruin for me. A lot of artifact hate on both sides, especially him. I got 3 of my artifacts ready. My important ones too. My book and my scepter, as well as 1 rod. And I got to keep 1. And I've already pinged him down 3 life with that rod, by the way. Hit him again at the end of his turn, down to 16. So as you can see, it does matter. That's 4/4 drops right now. If I had the song, if he never disenchanted any of these things, that'd be lethal almost. Oh yeah, with the Felwar Stone, that'd be it. And he chains me because he had 8 cards in hand. Instead of discarding, he just figured right to the face, 3 to the dice. So end of his turn again, I smack him down to 14. And that's even less artifacts I need now to hit. Here's another Rod of Ruin. That'd be 2 4/4s on the tail on the 2/2. It's 10 damage. So 4 more ping damage, and I can drop the song and win. So, you know, for those who think these Rod of Ruins are ridiculous the first time you saw them, they're doing their job. Trust me, they're doing the job. Again, I am open to suggestions. Let me know if there's something else I should be playing. Because for me right now, that's what I came up with. And I do have the books in there, of course. You saw the deck list before the game started. Regrowthing, going for my book, because I need to draw these cards. I need to get somewhere. And he lands. He draws a card, down to my turn, and then again on his turn. I do have 4 mana open, so I can either draw or ping at the end of his turn. So we'll see what I'll do, unless I have any other reactions to what happens. And he's up to 8 cards again, and he's discarding a Savannah. That's good news, I guess. And I pinged him again. He's down to 12 already. So that's amazing. And here's a Scepter. Ooh, that landed. And having him discard right away, down to 6. And what do we say goodbye to? Oh, he thought it was random. I was like, nah, bro, you get a pick. So there goes a Plow, which, you know, it's not very useful right now. And he's drawn back up. And then back up to 8 cards again in his turn. And I guess I did not find the song yet because I probably should have dropped it by now, I guess. Maybe I'm worried because he does have a 4/4 himself, so my rod could die. No, I must not have it. Drop myself a land here, looks like. And I guess I passed? No, thinking. I guess I'm counting my mana. That's an important part of this deck is, you know, figuring out how to allocate all this mana every turn. You know, it's not something that every deck has to do and concentrate on, keep track of the whole way through. It's just, you know, what could I do? When do I do this? What mana do I save for that? What do I, you know, hold back to bluff that I'm holding a Disenchant or something? He's down to 10 already with these Rod of Ruins. So half his life is gone just by 1 damage pingers, 3 mana each, which is the long, hard way to do this. You know, I could put a couple red sources in here and a fireball, and my life would be a lot easier. But he's down to 10 already. Ooh, COP red. That should save me, because, again, his whole plan here is that 1 fireball in that deck. So, COP red he needs to deal with, or he cannot win. Right? Cannot, yeah. Unless there's something in the sideboard I overlooked. But I'm sitting pretty here. I'm feeling good. And I'm probably misplaying a lot. You know, being that he's at 10, you know, he's on a 5-turn clock if I just pinged him. But for some reason, I'm tapping all this mana and doing all these things. I'm trying to draw. But I probably just should have stayed, you know, hard on those 1 damages, 2 damage a turn, and keep that clock up. Here's a disenchant now, and I'm just chanting his book in response, and he took out one of my rods. So there you go. You know, even he sees that he's on his clock, and for some reason I'm not seeing it. You know, I'm taking my sweet time, you know, trying to play some other game in my head, I guess. And these are things you don't really see until you watch the video, you know, what you should have done over what you did. Maybe I'm just trying to dig for a song, but I mean, who needs it if I could win in 5 turns, you know, and I have the COP red out, I can take my time. Or at least, again, we know he has 4 regrowths in there, so it's until he finds a way to deal with that COP red. But he's down to 4 cards, he's got no books, and I do have my scepter on the table. Ooh, here's a disenchant. What is he hitting? COP red, of course. Okay, so my time is running out. He's down to 3 cards. I have been hitting his hand, it looks like, pretty aggressively, which is important, you know, because if he's holding on to that fireball and he's looking for the disenchant, if I make him discard every turn, if I get a second one even, have him discard 2, get him down to 0 before he finds a disenchant, then that fireball never happens, at least until he finds a regrowth, and then it's 2 mana short. Alright, I'm trying to play a Mirror Universe here. He's got 2 cards in hand. What is he going to say to this? He says Counterspell. Oh, it's the Darth Vader Counterspell. It's a nice one. And that was all I had for that turn. Tapped out again instead of keeping mana back to ping him with. Ooh, Fireball for 10. And this is what I'm talking about. This is dangerous. I'm down to 7 already. Yikes. Wow, okay. The deck is doing its job. He's got no cards in hand now, though. So he's going to have to regrow and Fireball in the same turn. And he's got plenty of mana, looks like, to do that. Ooh, not anymore. Tsunami. Taking out 5 lands. Puts him down to 6 lands. 2 mana for a regrowth means he can only Fireball for 3 and get away with it because of the scepter on the table. He can't, you know, regrowth it and wait a turn to make it 5 even, which is not enough. But he does have the bolts and chains, so even 5 would be okay. But, and I pinged him down to 8 there, looks like. So, and oh, another COP red. Yikes. And I didn't ask him. I'm wondering now how many disenchants and regrowths are in that graveyard. You know, am I back to sitting pretty? Hopefully I don't keep making the same mistakes I've been making. Oh, don't need to. There's the song I've been looking for, and I swing in for lethal. Wow, what a game 2. So, the deck did its job. It is slow going. In the early game, you saw I was down low, 2-3 cards, 0 cards at one point, I think. And he had a full grip. He was discarding. That's how confident he was. But eventually I whittled him down, hitting the cards in his hand, hitting him down to life, and then got him low enough to make the big swing for the win. And here we are on to game number 3. It's always nice to see a third match, you know. It makes, you know, the intensity is there. You know, you can feel it. It's like this one, here we go. You know, all the buckets clams. And, okay. Nice easy start, of course, because there's no Soul Rings or Moxes, so it's just land pass, land pass. I start off the action with a Felwar Stone. He says, okay, no problem. Because I'm sure he could have countered it. Looking at that deck list, come on. But I think he realizes there's more important things to save those counters for. Because those right there, the Scepters, are doing him dirty. Alright, he has an answer for it. Disenchant, didn't need to waste a counter spell. And drop some Moat. He knows that he'll be safe from all my creatures as long as that Moat can stick. So maybe that's the plan. And again, the Scepter is too dangerous for him. but he's tapped out, and I sneak in his COP red. And as we know, his only freaking plan is Fireball. Fireball, Regrowth, Fireball, Mirror Universe, Fireball, whatever. As long as I got that COP red out, I'm safe. And mana available, of course. But he does have the white to get it out of there, and I'm not running counters. Although, I should probably be playing Avoid Fates. I keep thinking about it, but the deck's pretty, like, you know, resourceful. Like, it can take the beating. There's nothing that's so important I need to protect it. You know, I could like, okay, COP's out of here, fine. Although, it's out of here, and now here's a Shivan Dragon on the field, so maybe it's not always just fine. You know, I can't rot a ruinous Shivan. But I am having him discard. He's down to 0 cards now. And so at least I'm in a good position that way. But coming in for 7 with a Shivan and I'm eating it, I can't take that for another 2 turns. Let's see if I can come up with an answer. Having him discard his 1 card. Ooh, COP red. And I have the mana right there. So I can, you know, make it work. I knew he didn't have a disenchant because he had no cards in his hand, so there was no risk at, you know, losing my Felwar Stone or any way I could get that mana to stop that Shivan. So I just gotta be careful now to make sure I always do have that mana available. And drop a big book here because I got 4 cards in hand. I'm kind of like land, you know, here and there I drop something. But I do need to dig. I need to get some more land out. I need to get some more of my toys out. Comes in the Shivan. Prevent it. Leaves me at 3 mana at the end of his turn and not enough to draw the card, so that was probably his plan there. And I mean, might as well attack anyway, as long as you can survive if I did drop this song. You know? And it occupies 1 of my mana. And mana is so important in my deck, it's so thirsty, you know? That's why I'm so afraid of Armageddon too, or any kind of land destruction, really. Because look at this. Rod of Ruin, 3 to activate, 4 to cast. Scepter, 3 to use, 4 to cast. COP red is 1 at least for the Shivan, and an extra 1 in case there's a Fireball. Icy, another mana at return. Books, 4 mana. Everything just soaks up the mana, and I don't have enough mana, enough land to support all the things I want to do. So I need to pick and choose what actually happens here. And this is only the 1.5 version. In the Atlantic version, I do have plenty of mana. I've got the Moxes, I've got the Soul Ring, I've got enough support to keep my artifacts working. But in this format, everything's a little bit slower. And I'm starting to... Oh, how's he at 18? Oh, Rod of Ruin. I've been pinging him down already. So, maybe I can get away with it again. Just ping him all the way down from 18 to 0. Or ping him low enough that I could drop a... Ooh, he lost his Fireball. That I could drop the Titania Song and come in. Because although the moat is there stopping me still. But that's 2 regrowths in the graveyard and 1 Fireball. So this Shivan and 2 regrowths is all I need to worry about, and a recall. And even then, if he did get the Fireball back, it's 2 less mana he could put into it, because my Scepter is going to make sure that he can't, you know, save it for next turn. I'm going to keep his hand at 0 as long as I can remember to do so. You know, as I'm talking about that's how I'm talking about the mana allocation. You know, for me, top priority is keep his hand empty. You know, of course, the COP, but I've got the mana for that. I'm not worried about that. And even now, I've got the Icy. I could, you know, tap down the Shivan if I need to. And here, did I forget to discard? No, okay. So in response to having discard, he's disenchanting my Scepter. And that is rough. That's rough. That's 2 Scepters down. Oh, and there's another one. I don't know if I was doing that on purpose, or I just drew it, or I had it in my hand, I just didn't have time to cast it. But it is smart playing, because if there is only 1 out, it's definitely the target for a disenchant, you know? Whereas if there were 2 out, maybe he takes out the COP red. But it's a smart play to keep him back. Although, again, outside this format, you got Mind Twist and Hindotorox, Hippies. Well, Hippies are in this format too, but obviously not in Sully's field. And I dropped a Mirror Universe here. And I'm actually remembering this a little bit. We were talking about, you know, the mana burn thing, dropping down and doing a switch, because that plan works just fine with the Rod of Ruin. You know, I could burn myself down to 1. How much mana do I have here? If I did at the end of his turn, so I knew the Shivan wasn't coming in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so I can bring myself to 1 here. So that's probably what I should be doing. You know, or even if he attacked with the Shivan, I could let it through and then burn for the rest down to 1 and do the switcheroo. I know he's got no cards in his hand, so I guess I'm just not seeing it, or I didn't have enough faith in it. But Mirror Universe, man, I remember playing against those early on. Those mirror decks back when you can, you didn't die at 0. I think you died at the end of the phase or in the turn. So during your opponent's upkeep, well, he would mana burn down to 1, and then on his upkeep he would tap a City of Brass to do the last damage down to 0, and then switch lives, and that was it. At the end of the upkeep, you were dead, and he had your life total. And man, those decks were annoying. Ran a lot of control, and it was like the scariest thing back when I first started playing and going to tournaments. And for me, it's, again, I'm not a pro. I don't, even here, like obviously I could have won if I, was actually paying attention. But the mirror is really in here for a couple reasons. And like I get that stuck in my head. I don't think about, how I could win that I have in play all the time. I'm like, okay, if they're playing aggro, I'm going to take a lot of damage early, and I'm going to switch lives and give myself more time. Even though it is a strategy, it's, at some point I thought about it. Run the mirror, burn myself down to 1, and ping him for 1 with the Rod of Ruin. No problem. But something just not clicking right now, because unless there's something that I'm not seeing now that I saw then, a reason I'm not doing it. Could he mana burn down also? Yeah, but that's not going to change anything. Oh well, I was just nervous, and that's okay. That's fine. And I got a second Rod of Ruin out here now, and the 1 rod has brought him down to 11 already, to 9 damage with that thing. And now he's working his Scepter. I've discarded a book already, disc. So I don't know about that disenchant if I used it, or yeah, I used it because I got that moat. 4 mana, draw a card. So I'm trying to get to my song here. I'm digging deep, and I think I reduced the amount I run. I went from 4 to 3, and against black I sideboard down to 2 usually, and for the karmas, I put the karmas in. So this opponent, I should still have all 3 in here, but I gotta find them. Those books gotta work. Rod of Ruins bring them down to 8 already. So there's no, Mirror Universe doesn't need to switch lives anymore. It just needs to be a 6/6 and do its job. Or the thing it's been used for most is I'll Divine Offering it for 6 life. In the jam. Sometimes comes down to that. Having him discard that 1 card. Regrow thing. What am I grabbing? COP red. No, sorry, Scepter. And having him discard. Oh yeah, it looks like I wasn't paying attention, and he got 2 cards in his hand. So, I took out the 1, and now I'm taking out the last one. I'm trying to make up for lost time here. He thought about plowing a Shivan there, I guess, but he decided against it. And you're damned if you do, damned if you don't with the Mirror Universe on the field, And there's so many better targets for disenchant right now. It's a rough situation to be in. And I'm down to 0 cards now. We're both at 0 because of these Scepters on both sides of the field. He's gonna have to draw. I don't know what you could draw. The COP red's got to go, and the Shivan, if it's not hitting for lethal, I could just switch life and then ping you down. Whatever, you drop me below you. Safest thing to do is just hit me down to 8, I guess. Hit me for the 5. That way we're even. That way the mirror doesn't make any sense for me. And then come in for lethal next turn. But again, the CP red needs to be out of the way first, because nothing's happened before then. Alright, digging, looking for more cards, trying to find that song. Oh, there it is. I dropped the song, and that is like, I don't know, 32 damage or something like that in the field. And he's tapped out. He's got no cards in hand. So 32 damage and creature artifact creatures will get the job done. Wow, what a game 3. What a match. Thank you, Sully, for playing me. And thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the videos. And please remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to show me some love on Patreon, you can join the patrons. Speaking of the patrons, I finally got a couple. So here are my end credits.